I am curious to know if you believe you are an alpha, a beta, an omega, a gamma, a sigma. And this video is to help you find out which role you would play in a wolf pack.
These are the colors that come. These are the colors that come.
Wolf pack sizes can range from 2 to 36 wolves, with most pack only consisting of about 6 wolves. Now, a wolf pack consists of 2 breeding wolves, so a mama and a daddy, and their offsprings and a few yearlings. An example of this in the human world we live in would be a mom, a dad, being the alpha wolves, and then their offspring, the kids, being the beta. Until they were to go out into the world on their own and create their own family and become an alpha themselves. I want to bring in human dynamic scenarios because we do not live in the wilderness like the wolves. The wolves had to create this policy for social law, protection, and keeping food in each other's mouths. In all reality, we have to tend to different positions in our life so we can play all the roles of the wolves. This can be at work, your family life, or as simple as having a mentor or you being an influencer. In the 1970s, scientists and researchers decided to take a deeper look into the wolf pack. And without realizing that they were only touching the surface, they began to publish books and send them out into society. And without society's knowing, scientists were only touching the surface. So people in societies took the labels of an alpha, an omega, a beta, and just ran with the labels that they could place on themselves. But since the 70s, scientists have gone further into research, and they don't even call the alphas alpha male, alpha female anymore. They just call them the breeding female and the breeding male, or the mother and the father. And they have now labeled them this because a wolf pack starts and begins with a male and a female creating a family. This is where our society can get mixed up with wolves in captivity and wolves actually out in the wild. Now, wolves placed together artificially, mainly by humans because they may be in captivity, are the ones who fight for power and hierarchy. But when wolves are natural, they are just born into these positions. Now, a lot of humans in societies are going based off of scientists' old research and define their roles based off of wolves that are in captivity. And who wants to do this when it is a power struggle? It's based off of insecurity and always competition. But people fail to realize every position of the pack is necessary. Other members cannot blossom and bloom without the other. Remember, out in the wild, this was to keep each other safe. Now, like I said, since we do not live in the actual wild and have to group together and just be one thing, we go out into society and we play all these roles. You know, you can get promoted to a role or you can get denoted to a role. So let's start with the pack. When you think of a pack, think of mouths to feed. Think of how many you need to protect and keep safe. Keep food in their belly. Put a roof over their head. This is where the alphas come in. The mom and the dad. They are the ones paying the bills, working the 9 to 5s, keeping the kids safe. This is when you are an alpha. Or you can be a boss, providing employment for people. Or you can also be a pet owner. Yes, your pet is your beta. You are your pet's alpha. If you own a dog, whatever type of pet, you are feeding that pet, you are keeping that pet safe, you are providing a home for that pet. Therefore, you are an alpha in some form of life. But when you step out into the world, if no one else is under your jurisdiction, if no one else matters in a way where you have to keep them safe or keep food in their mouth or a roof over their head, you are not their alpha. So if you go up to someone and you say, I'm an alpha, that person will say, to whom? Not me. You are an alpha in some area of your life, but not here, you aren't. So that's where that comes in. If you are not protecting anyone, putting food in anyone's mouth or keeping a roof over their head, you are not an alpha. Mom and dad, guardian, boss, president, pet owner is alpha. Now, my sweet, sweet beta is underneath the alpha. I always think they're sweet because they're like the kids of the wolf pack. Mainly in our human society, they would be the kids because they are being provided for and protected, and people are just overall keeping them out of harm's way. So in our human society, a beta can be anyone that is being protected and having all their essential and needs provided for. And in order to be a beta, you must have an alpha. So just because you are a submissive person, or you don't, speak up for yourself, or don't let anyone call you a beta, because if you are an independent person, there's no way that you are a beta, because a beta needs an alpha. Third, we have my favorite. That is gamma. Gamma is like the grandparents. It's like a general in the army, your mentor, an influencer, your boss, someone that's speaking to the public like a life coach or a dating coach, because this is third in command. This position is held to high regard because they are of influence. This is the wolf that will stay behind and watch the cubs while alpha go on a hunt. Alpha and beta goes on the hunt. This is like the grandparent. So a gamma, I see a lot of people thinking an alpha is a gamma, but just because they are some type of life coach or something, or they are a boss, or they their word is held to high respects. But if they are not providing for the person that they are talking to or teaching, if they are not keeping that person safe, putting food in their mouth, then they are not an alpha to them. They are a gamma. But grandparents can be alpha and gamma. So you see how these roles are playing out in life. You can take on each role. It's not just one role that you are assigned to, just different things we have to tend to in life. Now we have Omega, and Omega I'm not much of a fan of, but we have all been guilty of being an Omega. And an Omega is the wolf that has one foot in the door and one foot out. They are semi a part of the pack, but only for benefit. They are pretty selfish. They got to do what's best for them and not the pack. But the pack is benefited from an Omega as well, because the Omega is a scapegoat. So either the Omega will approach danger first, therefore the pack can be forewarned, or the pack will approach danger first and then the Omega is warned not to go towards danger. So this can be used in a human scenario, like say you're at your job but you don't like your job, so you're gonna do the work, you're gonna be a team player, but you're like, I'm ready to quit, I gotta do what's best for me, I'm about to create my own business because I gotta look out for me. These people don't care about me. So that is an Omega in the pack. They're kind of a loner, but they're a loner because they're selfish. And then you have the Sigma. The Sigma, oh my goodness. The sigma is the adult, well, semi-adult that steps out of the parents' house, you know, when they turn 18 and they become independent and start to pay their own bills and provide for themselves. They're not married yet, don't have any kids, anyone else they have to take care of or provide for. They're just an individual and they allow things to come to them. This is what the sigma does. The sigma allows other wolves to come to them to offer them to be a mate and create a pack. But until then, they're okay with hunting alone, being alone. They're not gonna pretend to be a part of the pack when they're not, like an omega would. The sigma marches to the beat of its own drum, you know, but they have alpha-like qualities. But until another wolf comes along and they create a family or anyone that they have guardianship over, they are a sigma. They still possess a lot of alpha qualities because they are able to create plans for themselves and take care of themselves and be the provider for themselves. So a sigma I hold to high regard as much as I do an alpha. So I hope this explanation of the wolf pack roles will help you to decide who you really are in society and know that we all play so many different roles. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you learned something new, leave a comment, tell your friends, family, neighbors, or even your house pet that you just got the 411 from Everything Animals. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content. Also, if you have time, check out my clothing website, Wild Child Array, all products designed by yours truly to express your inner wild child. And once again, I greatly appreciate you watching this video. Until next time, take care.